I need the support of every Ghanaian, together with the prayers of the church, to help me and my government carry out our mandate successfully.
In the heart of Accra, Ghana's bustling capital, a project was conceived with grand ambitions. It was meant to be a symbol of national pride, a $400 million state-of-the-art National Cathedral that would stand as a testament to Ghana's faith, culture, and progress. Envisioned as a world-class landmark, the cathedral was designed to attract tourists, inspire citizens, and put Ghana on the global map. But today, instead of a majestic cathedral, the site hosts what can only be described as a public swimming pool. Yes, you heard that right, a swimming pool. How did a project of such magnitude and promise devolve into a symbol of mismanagement and corruption? This is the story of Ghana's National Cathedral, a saga that exposes the depths of corruption and the challenges of governance in a nation striving for progress. The idea for the National Cathedral was first proposed by then-President Nana Akufo-Addo in 2017. It was part of a broader vision to position Ghana as a beacon of hope and faith in Africa. The cathedral was to be more than just a place of worship. It was intended to be a cultural and spiritual hub, complete with a Bible museum, a gallery of African religious history, and spaces for national events. The government promised that the project would be funded through private donations and partnerships with minimal burden on taxpayers. President Akufo-Addo, a devout Christian, often invoked biblical references to justify the project. Quoting Philippians 4:13, he declared, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." He framed the cathedral as a divine mandate, a project that would bring glory to God and prosperity to Ghana. The cathedral was to be built on prime real estate, just 700 meters from Ghana's parliament, symbolizing the intersection of faith and governance. The government touted the cathedral as a catalyst for economic development. It was expected to create thousands of jobs during construction and boost tourism upon completion. The project was part of a broader agenda that included initiatives like free senior high school, planting for food, and jobs and infrastructure development. Akufo-Addo's administration promised that these programs would transform Ghana into a prosperous, self-reliant nation. But as the project unfolded, cracks began to appear. Despite the lofty promises, the cathedral's funding model quickly came under scrutiny. While the government claimed that the project would be privately funded, it soon became clear that taxpayer money was being used to finance it. By 2022, over $58 million of public funds had been spent, yet there was little to show for it. Fast forward to today, and the National Cathedral project is in shambles. Instead of a grand cathedral, the site now features a public swimming pool, a far cry from the original vision. How did this happen? The answer lies in a combination of poor planning, corruption, and a lack of accountability. The government blamed the rising costs on inflation and unforeseen challenges, but critics argued that the project was poorly managed from the outset. Contracts were awarded without competitive bidding, and there were allegations of kickbacks and embezzlement. As the project stalled, public frustration grew. The cathedral became a lightning rod for criticism, with opponents accusing the government of misplaced priorities and reckless spending. The failure of the National Cathedral project is just one symptom of a larger crisis in Ghana. The country's economy is in dire straits, with inflation soaring to 23.8% and the cedi losing significant value against the dollar. Public debt has reached alarming levels, and state-owned enterprises are drowning in red ink. The previous administration's mismanagement has left the new government with a daunting task to stabilize the economy and restore public trust. President John Mahama, who took office in 2024, has been vocal about the challenges he inherited. In a speech to Parliament, he described Ghana as a crime scene, citing widespread corruption and mismanagement. He revealed that an initial assessment of the country's finances had uncovered staggering levels of debt and glaring signs of reckless spending. "We have inherited a country that is broken on many fronts," Mahama declared. "The profundities of the challenges confronting us are staggering." In response to the crisis, President Mahama launched Operation Recover All Loot, an anti-corruption initiative aimed at investigating and reclaiming misappropriated state assets. The Oral Committee has identified 36 high-profile cases of corruption, with potential recoveries of up to $2.49 billion. In total, the initiative could retrieve over $21.1 billion, more than enough to make Ghana self-sufficient and reduce reliance on the IMF. The Oral Committee's work has shed light on the extent of corruption in Ghana. From inflated contracts to embezzlement, the committee has uncovered a web of deceit that has siphoned billions from the public purse. The committee's findings have sparked outrage among Ghanaians, many of whom are demanding accountability and justice. Behind the numbers and statistics are real people whose lives have been affected by corruption and mismanagement. One such person is Michael Blackson, a Ghanaian American comedian who invested $1.2 million in Ghana's Eurobonds to fund a free school he built in his hometown. Blackson's school was meant to provide quality education to local children, but his investment was wiped out when the government restructured the bonds, offering unfavorable terms. Blackson's story is just one of many. Thousands of Ghanaians have lost their savings and investments due to the government's mismanagement. For many, the dream of a better future has been replaced by despair and frustration. The failure of the National Cathedral project is a stark reminder of the human cost of corruption. Despite the challenges, there is hope for Ghana. President Mahama's administration has taken steps to address the crisis, including the launch of Oral and efforts to stabilize the economy. The government has also committed to honoring its obligations to bondholders, including Michael Blackson, whose school will now receive the funding it needs to continue operating. The road ahead will not be easy, but Ghanaians are resilient. The failure of the National Cathedral project has sparked a national conversation about accountability, transparency, and the need for good governance. It is a reminder that progress is not just about grand projects and lofty promises. It is about delivering results and improving the lives of ordinary citizens. The story of Ghana's National Cathedral is a cautionary tale of ambition, corruption, and broken promises. It is a reminder that good intentions are not enough. They must be matched by sound planning, transparency, and accountability. As Ghana moves forward, it is essential to learn from the mistakes of the past and build a future that prioritizes the needs of the people. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and engage with the conversation. Together, we can shine a light on corruption and hold those in power accountable. Until next time, be well.